Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here, and these are the top 10 best Hearthstone decks to climb to Legend in July 2021. Coming in at number 10 is Miracle Rogue, and well, Miracle Rogue just does Miracle Rogue things. It's doing pretty well, but it's not amazing, and it has not changed by a single card during the past month. It's still exactly the same. You have Kazaku's Golem Shaper, you have Chandy Sparrow, then you have the Alexstrasza the Life Pointer and 10 Wolf the Red Smoke combo, you discount your stuff, you build a board, you Shadow Step some stuff, you build more boards, you maybe 10 Shadow Step Alex, boom bam boom pah, some combo, and that's kind of what you do. But it hasn't changed much during Forged in the Barrens. Coming in at number 9 is a deck that is returning to the list, and this is Primordial Clown Druid. Clown Druid hasn't been that strong lately, but the uptick in priest play rates have made Clown Druid a little bit more playable, and when you add Lunar Eclipse and you add Speaker Ghidra out there so that you have some more defenses against those more aggressive decks, and you always have the chance to high roll any game when you're playing Druid, then Clown Druid is a playable alternative. Number 8 is the Menagerie Priest. A scourge of the ladder, and yet there are multiple decks that can counter Priest, such as most Shaman decks, Deathrattle Demon Hunters. But Priest is also powerful, and Priest is also a deck that can high roll any game with its random generation. Currently the strongest deck to climb to Legend is this sort of Priest with as much removal as possible, so there's Hysterias against Warlords, there's Soul Mirrors. The Yoink version seems to be a little bit better now than the regular version, so we're running Cabal Acolytes and Waves of Apathy. However, if you meet a somewhat slower meta, let's say High Legend meta sometimes for example is a little bit slower, then you might ditch those Hysterias for a pair of Zetek Veil Weavers for additional value. But when you're up against what you expect to be fairly aggressive meta climbing the Legend, then more removal is better. Number 7 is Aggro Shaman, and Aggro Shaman can be really powerful. If you find your Doomhammer early, you get some Storm Strikes going, you get some Rock Biter weapons going, boom, that's just so much damage. But your game plan is also quite one-dimensional. You get some minions on the board at the start, you try to chip in some damage with those, you get your Doomhammer, you try to deal a lot of damage with those, you try to finish up with spells. It's not a bad plan, but there are ways to counteract that plan because it is your only plan. Number 6 is No Minion Mage. No Minion Mage hasn't really evolved much, it's practically the same deck as it has been for the last months. And the only reason it's relevant again is because there are more people playing Priest. And when there are people playing Priest, well, Mage is pretty good at shooting Priest in the face. So even though all of your strongest matchups are against control decks, such as Priest, Control Warrior, Control Warlock, and you're weak against many of these more aggressive decks, there's still a place where No Minion Mage can shine. Number 5 is Rush Warrior, and Rush Warrior has had the opposite effect from Mage, because Rush Warrior would be much better if there were fewer priests on the ladder, because Priest and Clown Druid, Primordial Druid, those are the main weaknesses of Rush Warrior, but other than that, Rush Warrior is it's a steady, well-oiled machine. It just grinds out Shamans, it grinds out Token Druids, it grinds out Rogues. It's just so hard to get and retain a board against Rush Warrior, and when those buffs start rolling in, Rush Warrior can get some big threats on the board. The 4th best deck at the moment is Face Hunter. Well, Face Hunter's game plan is also quite simple, just kill people. It's actually a little bit more complicated in Forged in the Barrens, because we have cards like Warsong Wranglers, and we're trying to tutor for some big trampling rhinos, and we're really punishing people for having stuff on the board with piercing shots with trampling rhinos. There's also a way to get really aggressive in the early game, get a strong board with Kolkar Packrunner and some cheap spells. But overall, Face Hunter is still all about killing people. Number 3 is Token Druid. Token Druid is nigh unstoppable. They just build a board, and if you can't clear those boards, sooner or later those boards are going to hit you in the face for a lot. Even with Savage Organ in the rotation, there's still Arbor up, there's still Pride's Fury, there's still ways to go. The best Token Druid build depends on the current meta. Right now it looks like these versions that run 1 copy of Soul of the Forest are doing the best. They're doing better than the 2 copy version, and they also seem to be doing better than the versions without any copies of Soul of the Forest. As a new inclusion in this list there is Resizing Pouch. Resizing Pouch has received a lot of interest lately, although its overall performance in Token Druid is rather mediocre, but that's kind of what you would expect from the 30th card in deck. Coming in at number 2 is Elemental Shaman. It was really difficult to decide what do I rank as number 2, what do I rank as number 1. This could have been number 1 maybe as well. Elemental Shaman is just a really strong deck, with only one major weakness, which is Rush Warrior. Other than that, this is a rare mid-range deck, a real mid-range deck in Hearthstone, that just keeps presenting bigger and bigger threats, playing stuff on curve, and then just ultimately overpowering the opponent. Almost even with the Shaman is my number one choice for the moment. It's Deathrattle Demon Hunter. And Deathrattle Demon Hunter is one of the few decks where there has been some innovation in the past weeks. Because of the appearance of this type of buffing in Deathrattle Demon Hunter. We have Parade Leaders in this deck, we have Overrode Rundeck in this deck. Those also open up the opportunity to use Blademaster Samuro, so some AoE. That AoE clearing can help you against Token Druid, which is one of your weakest matchups. And in general, it's pretty good to buff up your stuff. If you're looking to climb the legend in Hearthstone in July, these are the 10 best decks to do it with. Good luck on the ladder. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and check out my Twitch channel.